Anyways, you already know who it is. Tis your neighborhood friendly neighborhood Wesley. Anyways, I got this shirt at it's extra large. I got it at Old Navy. Anyways, just a quick review of Ghostlight. I did watch the Bike Riders and I did a review, but it recorded sideways, and I was like, it's not enough work for me to wait like the 5 minutes for it to edit or for it to properly like change the correct angle on my phone. Because I was like, it was a good movie, but it was also kind of, I thought it was good. I thought Jamie Comer or Jodie Comer did fantastic. I thought Austin Butler was really solid. Without even saying much line, I thought Tom Hardy was good, but I don't know. I guess it's not rewatchable because I didn't feel like doing another review. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But I did want to review Ghostlight, which is basically this movie about this family, a daughter, a son. But you never see the son because the son's died when the movie begins, and it's about basically this family dealing with just the backlash of the death of their son, and the aftermath, I guess is the right word, and just how it like slowly creeps in, and you're getting all these microaggressions and these micro breakdowns throughout the entire normal day, and the movie is honestly so beautiful. Obviously a female. I'm just kidding. Let me not stop. But anyways, yeah, that script was good. That's why I reviewed this over stinking The Bike Riders. Because this script was better. This script was also written by a woman. Hey, yo, let me not say nothing. It was. Anyways, yeah, so it was solid stuff. I really enjoyed the script, I really enjoyed this the screenplay for the Bike Riders as well, and I did talk about that on the review that no longer exists because I deleted it. But this one just had more heart to it. It was more connected. I think the lady who directed it wrote the screenplay, also co-directed it, I believe, according to the credits. And they should have just let her direct it because something sworn. She directed this Christmas movie about these queer female couple, and it's a Christmas movie. It's Looking for Her or something like that. I forget, her last name was Swarns. Anyways, that movie was fantastic. She wrote it, directed it. I just feel like I could be wrong here, but I just feel like it should have been, they should have focused more on the girl whose name was Catherine Kupferer, and her dad was also in the movie, and he was actually the real dad. So I think her real life dad was dad. His acting was good, but it was like overacting. He didn't have all the skills and chops. The daughter was absolutely fantastic. And they should just focused more on her. That's something I was just thinking in my head. I'm like, bro, if you got Denzel Washington, you give a screen. If you got stinking Robert Downey Jr., if you got stinking Meryl Streep, Scarlett Johansson, Viola Davis, Zoe Saldana, you give them more screen time. And that's one of the biggest flaws about this movie. There's not really a flaw like a shot. It's just like, why didn't you highlight the girl who's clearly the best his Catherine character, or Captain Kupfer, that's her real name. Why didn't you give her more screen time? And the movie itself was patchy, and it was rough in areas. Not rough, it was just patchy, and it was just like, it was a little too slow. It was a little too it was not glossy. I was hoping for a glossy, a little bit quicker product. And they just spent a lot of time in these shots that didn't feel like they were moving every single time. But for an independent movie, it was good. And you could just you can see the kind of breaks between the two directors. There's not enough chemistry for them to understand. They're not the Coens, to be able to push it along and to have the symmetry. Because that's one of the biggest things between like a still photography photo in a cinema, like a movie itself, a motion picture and sound show, like film movie, is that like when Christopher Nolan does it, it doesn't feel static at all, or even James Cameron. It feels like it's a video. It's constantly pieces together, versus like a lot of time when you get indie people or these younger directors, you just get these like indie movies. It's just slower. It's more, instead of like there's not any flow, there's not any motion, and that a lot of times take away the life from the movie itself, especially when you have really good talent. I mean, the dad did good. I forget the lady was good too. Yeah, honestly, the movie is just very, very touching, very, very touching, without like overdoing it. I think it was super authentic. It discussed like the son overdosing. It just the screenplay was excellent. Probably one of the best screenplays out there in the last 2 years. I would say that's a tall order, but I'm just gonna say, yeah, probably one of the best screenplays in the last 2 years. Maybe this is the highest compliment. Maybe in the last 4 to 5 years, the best screenplay I've seen. Which is, I didn't actually read the screenplay, but I listened to the movie, I watched the movie. But that's something that always speaks to me as a screenwriter, and something I'm fascinated with, because I do listen to a good amount of screenplays. Yeah, it was definitely one of the best, because it just felt authentic, like a good screenplay. Like that's why I have Quentin Tarantino as the best writer and the best director separately of all time, because it's just always so authentic. It's always so real. And Quentin Tarantino have this super realistic, super raw, and feel authentic, but just be silly out of the park. And I think this movie could have done a little bit more comedy, a bit more silliness, had a bit more light to it, because the screenplay was already fantastic. I think, again, this was a job for the directors to add a little bit more life in it, make it a little bit more flowy. But as I saw it in theaters, this movie was very captivating and very warm, and it was a true privilege to watch it. And it finished like the first part, we're like, all right, I'm interested, and then the second part is like, all right, you guys slow down, you're kind of doing a dip down, all right, but I'm still pulling the rope, I'm still following along. And then it was like the early like 30-40% of the third act just turned up the heat, and you're like, oh, you're cooking now. I was like, that first third, the first 30-40% of the third act was, that the heart was, it was just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Again, shout out, that was all the writer, the director. I know she wrote it, co-directed and directed it, but that was the writing right there. That it was just, the emotion was coming out. You kind of had this slope, this valley in the movie, and then out of nowhere you're getting the climb up the mountain, and the heat in the heart of the movie, and it's all at the same pace. That's something this movie did very, very well. It had good pace. A lot of indie movies don't have good pace. It was produced by IFC. It was an indie movie. I think IFC just picked it up. I had to look it up. It's just, IFC is just like organization that they distribute indie movies and AMC owns them or something like that. I go to watch AMC to watch my movies because I have a membership, so I get unlimited movies, and you best believe I use that thing to my full ability. I like it. My theater has a lot of movie theaters. I personally very much enjoy AMC movie theaters, but I also respect and love to support local theaters. And that's always something I'm gonna do. And first and foremost, I'll support the local theaters before I support Regal. But the other one I go to doesn't have as much selections, and sometimes I don't like the selections they have. But I think the theater is nicer and cleaner. But I just don't like the selections that they have. And this one right now, okay, I ain't got the money like that, and it has unlimited movies. You know what I'm saying? And I run a movie reviewing thing, and right now it's hot, so I can go out there and watch 2 movies, work on my writing skills, enjoy movies, which I completely in love with movies and cinema, and traveling to a different world and just experiencing a story from another human being. That's one of the reasons I haven't gone crazy. I can just write a story and just watch a movie and know to it feels like you feel like somebody's talking to you, like you're getting a life story from somebody else, and still having a fantastic time. And I see this car just driving out here, so I'm just gonna sign off. And Ghostlight was one of the best movies of the year for me. Monkey Man was probably number 1. Yeah, all right, Dune 2, Monkey Man, right next to Dune, and then this one, in its own place. Like Dune and Monkey Man are really, really close, and then this. Yeah. I don't know. Just follow the wind, and this is like a side. This is. I'm just gonna be talking because I still got daylight. I still got light. Apparently, I can just turn the light on. Like, oh nope. I don't know. I did it one time where I could just like make the light lighter. Whatever. Anyways, I had this really good conversation with this Lyft driver, and he was just like he was like religious, like Judaic Christian. He's Christian, but he was just like, the old things where they get like a whip and they're sitting back. Like, he was just like describing his faith and his life, but he was like, he's 35 and all this stuff like that. And I'm like, bro, you're just walking on eggshells your entire life, and you're whipping yourself. And I had this phase myself where you're just like, you're punishing yourself and you're scrutinizing yourself for every little step, and you're not allowing yourself to have any breathing room and any room of life. You're just being too much of a perfectionist, which is an epidemic in our society, in our world. Where just people are pushing themselves too hard to achieve things that are fictional and imaginative and illusionary. Okay? And I just, I spoke to him, and I don't know, like, every time you speak to someone in like a life coachy talking about life thing, they always speak back to you whether you want it or not. And I realized that's something because you can always work on it. You're always working on yourself. You're always learning. And I just love talking to people, so I'm always working on myself because I'm always talking to people about their lives, and I always get some kickback, just through the exchange, and being able to just step away and look at my life from a three-dimensional perspective, and yeah, I just realized I've been going a little too hard, and the best version of me is, following the wind, being relaxed, and just, going with the flow. That's my personality. That's who I am, and I just kind of been too hands-on for other people, and just, trying to work on my social media or all this stuff like that, where I'm like, I just gotta, kick it back, like kick it easy, That's me, and I have not been doing that because I've been trying to, like, gain things that will come, when it comes to like romance or just achieving success. I don't have to reside at my parents' house and all these dreams and things I'm gonna achieve. I know I'm gonna achieve them because I'm gonna do whatever it takes, and I also know the experience and my work ethic and my incredible mentality that I'm gonna achieve that. But especially, and I don't know, I've said this, I have like a rare condition. It's basically like stiff person syndrome, although the doctors said they didn't know what it was, and I was like doctors for like 9 months. Which basically, my health is like I think Celine Dion has it. Basically, the muscles in my traps and just like throughout my body, but mainly my traps are super, super tight, so I can't lift anything. They're just like really stiff, so I can't lift anything, and it's hard to think and it's hard to breathe. And I'm just in constant pain all the time, like 10 out of 10. I'm always in great pain. So, so it's just, I'm always trying, but my mentality is so strong, and my enjoyment and love for humanity and life and God is so strong that I just push I don't push past it. I overcome it all the time. I just keep overcoming it, it's like 1,000 fights every single day, but I'll win every single one. But sometimes you just get tired and you're like, shit, man. You're like, and you just want to break and you just want to breathe. And I just been pushing too hard. Like, this is something I do, that's why I want a significant other, so I can have someone to regulate my ambition and my drive, because I'm going to push it to the max. That's who I am, that's my personality style. So, anyways, yeah. So now I kind of took a break. I requested 2 days off because I've been working a lot, and I was kind of stuck in the schedule. And one of the things that makes me unique, there's obviously a lot of stuff, but I realized that you have to have a little bit of random. Okay, so just whatever you're doing, I kind of got off an episode of Doctor Who where there's this battle between the Mavalians and the Daleks, and it's like one of the best episodes of Doctor Who. I don't want to spoil it, but basically, one of the things is being not stuck in your ways, and a bit of randomness and spontaneity is actually the greatest gift you can have. And so that's something I've done for a while. Like, my mindset is always go with the flow, but also it's just like, yeah, sometimes, a lot of times, I have to be aware of my life and also be able to just redirect things. Like, I'm going to purposely do this random thing. I'm going to purposely, like, drive a different way to get home. I'm going to do something of that order or of that mix, or like, maybe one day I just do something for the pure sake of being random and detouring your ordinary life flow. Or like if you're going to eat, like, I don't know, burgers and a taco, just make both of them, just mix it up. It's kind of a synonym in a way of life to, like, moderation. Like, do all things as a moderation. This is also mix things up in your life and don't get static, because I feel like a lot of people, especially in this world of perfectionism, they're like, this has to be perfect, this has to be perfect. But sometimes if you're not trying to be perfect and you do something random, you get an entire, like, let's say you're driving home, and then you take a different turn and you see somebody on the street, and that person, like, makes you slow down. I don't know, maybe they find us duff, or maybe it's like a homeless person, and then I don't know, you just give them $1, or I don't know, whatever you're doing, but you just see a homeless person, just the way they're sitting, for whatever reason, you take a different road. Or you just see a regular person. Look, now, not homeless people aren't regular people. Let's say you just see somebody just walking down the street, and they're dancing in a certain way, and that makes you take a right or go to this certain place, and then you just ended up having a brand new adventure, and you go to this bar, and then you stay all night, and you get a hangover, and you go to work. But you have a story. There's a new story that would have never happened. There's a new opportunity. There's a new life experience and a life fire that you would have never had you stayed, kind of in the columns of your ordinary flow. And it's for the pure fact that you added this line of code of being random, just purely random on purpose, just to spice your life up a bit, to mix things up. So that's my advice to the viewers, but also that's something I kind of haven't done, even when I took my vacation, it was kind of like a diss at somebody, just a little bit of diss, but yeah, I haven't took it, and I took 2 days off, and I just did some stuff, and not anything nefarious, obviously. I just got a hotel room for one day, yeah, because I listened to it on this is gonna be long, but we're just going. I listened to this podcast. It's just a bunch of different lifestyle motivation podcasts, and they're always like, you guys spice your life a bit. So I just, I live with my parents, so I ain't have no sex or nothing like that, or just not that there's anything wrong with it. But I'm just saying it was boring, and it was not boring, but I just, sleeping in a different bed for the night. And I just ended up watching TV and stuff like that. So I thought I was gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna write, but then as soon as I saw my laptop just on that chair, I was like, nah, I'm not doing anything. So I just slept, watched shows, and then left. But it's just that one break, and not hearing all the like people in my house that I'm currently residing in, and just being able to just take a break, different change of scenery, like new air, um, and then the people I'm staying with, my family, my birth family, whatever, were on vacation, so it was very quiet, and I just was able to, get that taste of the life I had before when I lived on my own, and it was amazeballs, and this is the next step. So it's kind of like I'm frustrated that I'm not able to, you know, be on my own and do all that stuff now, but I'm also still here, and like my health thing is always a issue. So I gotta have the money like that. Like I gotta have it because there's a lot of times where I just I won't have any energy to do anything. So I'll just be so tired. I just have to like not do anything for a while, or just the world around me is just too much, and I just need to relax. So I need the bag to really get out. And I just had a taste of it, which was refreshing. But also, I'm still longing for when my time comes. But I don't know. Life is still good though. But I'm really appreciative that I'm able to just recently I took 2 weeks off from my YouTube channel of recording videos just to I'm just tired, and I'm a human being. So, anyways, I just had a good time. Just take a little vacation, just a good little break, just relaxing. And it was just really refreshing. And Ghostlight was a really good movie. Life is Swell. And just remember, be a little bit random. It will truly change your life. And it's something I've been doing for years, but it's truly changed my life because there's so many instances of things that happen that I would never happen before. But even me, like just taking a lift, sometimes I get good drive, sometimes I don't. But like I don't really need it because I can just take a bus. But sometimes I do take it, or just recently I've took like 4 or 5 trips, which is a lot of money because I always tip them like $5. But the one driver like stopped really hard, and my body's fragile, and he kind of cooked me. But then the other driver, most of them don't talk. But yeah, every now and then you'll get someone who just I'm getting a conversation, and it's brief, so I don't gotta sit there and talk to them all like that. But they're telling me about their lives, and me, obviously, I am a life coach, so I don't need to, but it's very like healthy for me to like help people by drop kind of ranting at them to get their shit together. It's just kind of part of me, I guess. I'm just so used to helping people, but also like I said, there's always kickbacks. So there's always like, hey, you actually got to work on this, and sometimes it's very funny because it's not like these great calculations of like, oh, you got to turn the knob 400 times in this direction during the sun and the moon. No, sometimes it's just like a car, you got to tune it. So you got to just tune it for this face or this thing like that. Sometimes you just got to tune yourself with just learning and information, and always, just doing your best. And that was kind of the conversation with the dude I was talking with. I was like, bro, he was listening like the 10 Commandments and all this stuff. I'm like, bro, just live your life, love and be happy. The first greatest commandment is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul. Then to love your neighbor as you live. As long as you're trying and you're doing best, and you're not like a serial killer or a sociopath, or like beating up your dog or your wife or your kids, or verbally abusing people and stuff like that. Like the egregious stuff is you're just trying. If you lie or cheat or steal a couple times, just get on with it. It's not like it, but if you're like habitual with the stuff, no. But if you're working on yourself, and you're as you progress, you're taking the bad things away and adding the good, then you're in the right place. And just do your best. Don't try and save the free world, or the world itself. That's always results in failure. It's just do your best, love and be happy. Anyways, yeah, I didn't expect it to be long for a movie review. So anybody who actually enjoyed Ghostlight and you actually got to the bottom of this, thank you for hearing me speak. I love all humanity for the best. And do your part, but also live. Just live. Hey, live.